What if the reason you're not rich has nothing to do with your income, but everything to do with the way you think about money? Millions of people work hard every single day, earn decent incomes, and still struggle to build wealth. Meanwhile, others with ordinary salaries quietly become financially free. So what's the difference? It's not that they're smarter, it's not that they have better jobs, and it's certainly not because they know some secret investment strategy. The real difference lies in their psychology. The truth is, money isn't just about numbers, it's about behavior. You can read every investing book, follow every financial expert, and still make poor money decisions if you can't control your emotions. Fear, greed, impatience, and the constant desire for more quietly sabotage your financial future without you even realizing it. That's why The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel isn't really a book about finance. It's a book about how rich people think. In this summary, you'll discover the mindset that separates people who spend their lives chasing money from those who quietly build lasting wealth. You'll learn why some people become rich with average incomes, while others lose fortunes, why saving often matters more than earning, and why mastering your emotions may be the most profitable investment you'll ever make. Let's begin with one of the most important lessons in the entire book. Everyone has a different relationship with money. Have you ever wondered why two intelligent people can look at the same investment and make completely opposite decisions? One buys, the other sells. Neither believes they're making a mistake. That's because money isn't just numbers, it's personal experience. Every financial decision you make is influenced by the life you've lived. Someone who grew up during an economic crisis may avoid investing because they've experienced financial pain. Someone who became wealthy during a booming market may believe taking risks is always rewarded. Both are acting logically from their own perspective. Morgan Housel explains that people don't make financial decisions based on facts alone. They make decisions based on their personal history. And that's an important reminder. Your experiences represent only a tiny fraction of what has happened in the world. So before assuming someone is irrational, remember that they're probably seeing the world through a completely different lens. The second lesson is even more surprising. Luck and risk shape every financial success. We love stories about successful people. We read biographies. We copy their habits. We try to follow their exact path. But there's one thing we often ignore: luck. Morgan Housel tells the story of Bill Gates. There's no doubt that Gates is brilliant, but he also had something incredibly rare. As a teenager, he attended one of the few schools in the world that had access to a computer at a time when computers were almost impossible to find. That opportunity gave him years of experience before most people had ever touched a keyboard. Was his success earned? Absolutely. Was luck also involved? Without question. At the same time, Housel reminds us of Gates's close friend, Kent Evans, who was equally talented but tragically died in a climbing accident before reaching his potential. One life was transformed by extraordinary opportunity, the other by unimaginable misfortune. The lesson is simple. Never assume success is entirely deserved, and never assume failure is entirely someone's fault. Effort always matters, but luck and risk matter too. Recognizing this makes you more humble when you succeed, and more compassionate when others struggle. Now here's another trap that catches millions of people. We believe stories more easily than statistics. Imagine someone tells you about a person who invested a small amount of money and became a millionaire overnight. Suddenly it feels possible. You begin imagining yourself doing the same. But what you don't hear are the thousands of people who made the exact same bet and lost everything. Our brains are naturally attracted to stories. Stories are emotional. Statistics are boring. That's why we often believe exciting narratives instead of boring probabilities. Whether it's cryptocurrency, the stock market, real estate, or the latest investment trend, people don't always buy because the numbers make sense. They buy because the story sounds exciting. The problem is that reality doesn't care about exciting stories. It only cares about probabilities. The wealthiest investors don't chase every exciting opportunity. They patiently wait for opportunities, supported by logic rather than emotion. That's one of the biggest differences between gambling and investing. Gamblers chase exciting stories. Investors trust boring consistency. One of the biggest financial mistakes isn't spending too much. It's never knowing when you have enough. Modern society constantly tells us to aim for more. A bigger house, a newer car, a higher salary, more followers, more success. The problem is that more has no finish line. The moment you reach one goal, another one appears. And if you constantly compare yourself to people who have more than you, you'll never feel wealthy, no matter how much money you make. Morgan Housel explains that true wealth begins the moment you define what enough means for you. Because once you know what is enough, you stop making decisions just to impress other people. You start making decisions that improve your own life. History is filled with people who earned millions, but lost everything because they couldn't stop chasing more. Not because they needed more, because they couldn't accept enough. The greatest financial skill isn't earning endlessly. It's knowing when to stop risking what you already have. That leads to another lesson almost everyone misunderstands. Looking rich is not the same as being wealthy. When you see someone driving an expensive sports car or wearing a luxury watch, it's easy to assume they're wealthy. But appearances can be deceiving. Real wealth is usually invisible. It's the money that hasn't been spent. It's the investments quietly growing in the background. It's the savings account nobody posts on social media. It's the financial freedom no one can see. Many people spend money to look successful. Ironically, that's often what prevents them from becoming truly wealthy. Morgan Housel puts it beautifully. The fastest way to have less money is to spend it trying to prove that you have it. Think about it. Nobody becomes financially independent by constantly upgrading their lifestyle. Wealth is built through the choices people never notice. The vacation you decided to skip. The luxury purchase you didn't make. The money you invested instead of spending. Real wealth is silent. Status is loud. And confusing the two can cost you decades of financial freedom. Another lesson from the book completely changes the way we think about saving money. Saving isn't just about buying something later. Most people save for specific goals: a house, a vacation, retirement, an emergency fund. Those are all good reasons. But Morgan Housel argues that saving has an even greater purpose. It buys flexibility. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you hate your job. If you've built savings, you have options. You can leave. Imagine discovering an incredible business opportunity. If you've saved consistently, you're ready. Savings create freedom long before they create wealth. That's why Housel says saving doesn't always need a specific goal. Sometimes the goal is simply having choices. Financial freedom isn't just having millions in the bank. It's having enough breathing room to make decisions without fear. The more options you have, the more control you have over your life. And that's something money can genuinely provide. The next lesson may be the most difficult for investors to accept. Every reward has a price. Everyone wants the returns. Very few people want the uncertainty that comes with them. People dream about investing successfully, but they panic the moment the market falls. They abandon long-term plans because short-term fear feels unbearable. Morgan Housel says this is the wrong way to think. Market volatility isn't a punishment. It's the price you pay for long-term growth. Think of it like buying a ticket to an amazing concert. Nobody complains about paying for the ticket because they understand that's the cost of admission. Investing works the same way. Temporary losses, uncertainty, market crashes, they're not signs that your strategy is broken. They're simply part of the price of achieving long-term success. The investors who build lasting wealth aren't the ones who never experience fear. They're the ones who refuse to let fear make their decisions. Because in the end, successful investing isn't about predicting the future. It's about staying in the game long enough for time to work in your favor. Perhaps the most powerful force in building wealth isn't intelligence, it isn't a high salary, and it isn't finding the perfect investment. It's time. Most people underestimate what time can accomplish because its effects are almost invisible in the beginning. Progress feels slow, returns seem small, nothing appears to change. But then, almost without warning, years of consistent effort begin to multiply. Morgan Housel points to one of the greatest investors in history, Warren Buffett. People often assume Buffett became one of the richest people alive because he consistently found better investments than everyone else. While he is undoubtedly an exceptional investor, there's another reason behind his extraordinary wealth. He started investing as a child. Then he simply kept investing for decades. In fact, the overwhelming majority of his fortune was built after the age of 65. That surprises many people, but it perfectly illustrates the incredible power of compounding. Compounding isn't about making spectacular gains overnight. It's about allowing small gains to grow over a very long period of time. The lesson is simple. Don't underestimate what consistency can accomplish over decades, because wealth is rarely built through one brilliant decision. It's built through hundreds of ordinary decisions repeated patiently. Another lesson from the book is equally important. Building wealth is one skill. Keeping it is another. Many people know how to make money. Far fewer know how to keep it. History is full of entrepreneurs, athletes, celebrities, and investors who earned enormous fortunes, only to lose them later. Why? Because building wealth often requires optimism and taking risks. Keeping wealth requires something completely different. Discipline, humility, patience. Morgan Housel explains that surviving is often more important than winning. If your financial strategy only works when everything goes perfectly, it isn't a strong strategy. Life will surprise you. Markets will crash. Unexpected expenses will appear. Plans will fail. That's why successful investors always leave room for mistakes. They don't invest every dollar. They don't assume tomorrow will look exactly like today. Instead, they prepare for uncertainty, because staying in the game matters more than being right every single time. The next lesson changes the way we think about financial planning. Every financial plan will eventually fail. That sounds pessimistic, but it's actually freeing. No matter how carefully you plan your future, life will change. Your career may change. Your family may grow. Your priorities may evolve. Unexpected opportunities may appear. Unexpected problems certainly will. The mistake isn't making plans. The mistake is believing those plans will unfold exactly as expected. The smartest financial plans include flexibility. They leave room for uncertainty. They include a margin of safety. Because the future isn't predictable, preparing for uncertainty is far more valuable than pretending you can predict it. That's why financial resilience matters more than financial perfection. If your plan can survive difficult years, it will usually succeed over the long run. And finally, Morgan Housel shares one of the most important ideas in the entire book. The greatest form of wealth is freedom. Ask yourself this question: why do people actually want money? Is it really about buying expensive things? For some people, maybe. But for most of us, the answer goes much deeper. Money gives us choices. It gives us time. It allows us to decide how we spend our days, who we spend them with, where we live, when we work, and when we don't. That's real wealth. Not owning the most impressive house, not driving the fastest car, but waking up with the freedom to live life on your own terms. According to Housel, controlling your time is one of the highest returns money can ever provide. Because luxury fades, status disappears, possessions lose their excitement, but freedom continues to improve your life every single day. That's why true financial success isn't measured by what people see. It's measured by the choices you quietly gain behind the scenes. At first, the lessons in this book don't seem revolutionary. Save consistently. Be patient. Control your emotions. Avoid comparing yourself to others. Accept uncertainty. Simple ideas. But simple doesn't mean easy. In fact, these habits are difficult precisely because they go against human nature. We want quick results. We want certainty. We want to believe we're always in control. And that's exactly why so many people struggle with money. not because they lack intelligence, but because they underestimate the power of their own emotions. Morgan Housel reminds us that financial success isn't about making perfect decisions. It's about making good decisions consistently. You don't need to predict the next stock market crash. You don't need to find the next Bitcoin. You don't need to become a financial genius. You simply need a system you can stick with for years. Because wealth isn't built in a single moment. It's built through thousands of small choices that compound over time. Choosing to save instead of impress. Choosing patience instead of panic. Choosing long-term freedom over short-term pleasure. Those decisions may seem insignificant today, but over 10, 20, or 30 years, they can completely change your life. Perhaps the most powerful lesson from this book is that money is only a tool. Its true purpose isn't to make you look successful. It's to give you control over your life, the freedom to spend your time with the people you love, the freedom to walk away from situations that don't make you happy, the freedom to make decisions based on your values instead of your fears. That's a kind of wealth no luxury car or expensive watch can ever provide. So instead of asking yourself, how can I make more money? Try asking a different question. How can I build a life where money gives me more freedom, not more stress? That single shift in perspective can transform the way you earn, save, invest, and spend. Because in the end, the people who build lasting wealth aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the ones who stay patient. They keep learning. They remain humble. And they understand that mastering money begins with mastering themselves. If you enjoyed this summary, remember that reading about money won't change your financial future. Applying these principles will. Start with just one lesson from this video. Save a little more. Compare yourself a little less. Think a little longer. Be a little more patient. Those small decisions, repeated over time, create extraordinary results. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next book summary.